Here we go into the game, and in the top left corner of King Sejong Station, our yellow Protoss player, Arnovic. Welcome to the DSCL Bootcamp qualifier, Arnovic.
And in the bottom right corner, we have the blue Protoss playing for Team Arms. It is Rbvh.
Rbvh. We have seen Rbvh play before, and he likes Zealot Archon.
Yep.
In PvP. So, well, I could make an educated guess as to what he will be doing, and then I would guess Zealot Archon.
And if I had to guess something, I would probably guess, well, yeah, the same. So the question is, did Arnovic pick up something from Rbvh's games, if he had time to quickly watch them or not in between his own games, and does he know what the preferred style is for Rbvh? Because if you do know that, then of course you can anticipate that.
Yep, that is one thing that we cannot prevent, of course. We do have a 2-minute delay on the stream, which is of course to prevent people from watching the stream live and then hearing their opponent being commentated as they're in the game. So you cannot really cheat on by watching the stream, but what you can do, of course, if your opponent has been streamed before, is know about those matches. But of course, yeah, he must have been paying very good attention to the stream while playing all these matches in the qualifier to be able to deduce all that. So,
well, it depends. If you didn't have a match to play, then you can tune in the stream.
Maybe.
But we've been pretty tight with matches being packed together. I don't think there's been many big gaps where people were waiting. So.
No.
I don't think that really happens.
By the way, just a quick note. I see none other than Shock in the chat currently. He's cheering for Frixie. Frixie, of course, a former teammate of Shock. Shock used to be with EC Visualize. Now he moved to, what was it again?
Mouse?
Mouse, yeah, Mouse, of course, yeah. But Shock now watching the game. Of course, Shock cannot play because he is not ranked no higher than Diamond. But cool, nice to have you, Shock.
He is not noob enough for this tournament.
Well, I wouldn't say the other players are noob. I mean, they could run circles around me any day, I think. But still, they're not grandmasters like Shock. That is true. Nice.
And if we look at what's actually happening in this game, we see a Stargate popping up for Rbvh. He is putting it in a little bit out of the way position. In his natural, but also in a spot where if he doesn't get a killing blow right now, he can reuse it later on. It's not in a very vulnerable position.
Yep, this is definitely something we've seen before, right?
Yep.
And so far, he has in this position he's been making phoenixes out of his Stargate. So I imagine he will be doing the same now.
We've seen that Arnovic has not scouted yet. He's currently scouting. He's making a long way around to maybe scout for proxies that are close by or so. But if he would scout, I wonder, and would go up the ramp of Rbvh's base, I don't know if he would actually spot the Stargate, because it's really close to the ramp. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be very tight if a probe going up that ramp will see it or not.
Yep, and Rbvh moved into Arnovic's base, but as soon as his probe got attacked, he pulled it back. But I'm not sure if that was the right move, because he will never have another chance of moving it all the way in, and now he doesn't know whether there's any gases going on, gases being placed for Arnovic there. So there's not a lot of information gained from that one scout by Rbvh.
And we see that Rbvh is making phoenixes again. He has 2 already. He's currently chronoing out the 3rd. Probe is in position to put down a Nexus once his middle count reaches 400. Probe from Arnovic is currently moving into the natural area, just going up the ramp now. Let's see if he will scout.
Frustrate the Nexus? No, he doesn't.
No, he just backs off. So he doesn't scout the Stargate either. He doesn't know what's coming. Both players taking their Nexuses with just 2 seconds in between, so that's very even. Hallucinated Phoenix coming out of Arnovic to scout the base of Rbvh.
Where a robotics facility has just gone down, so that will probably be scouted. And these Phoenixes could actually maybe get a sentry kill. That'd be nice. Or a mothership core, for that matter. Look at this!
Oh, that would be big, and they're going to get it.
Will they?
Yes.
No,
yes.
Oh.
He does lose a Phoenix and has another reduced to some health damage, so I'm not sure if that was worth it. Because if there's no big follow-up push coming up, then the mothership core can be rebuilt and regenerate energy. as I'm looking currently at the Nexus of Arnovic, I do see that it's completely full of energy, so he should use that to chrono something out.
Yes, definitely.
But these type of things are, of course, always also going to be discussed probably in the bootcamp. How to keep track of these things that you have to do in the background every now and then. The chronoing. It's,
also, very large supply block for Arnovic, and he started a unit in his robotics facility. I think then realized that there was a supply block going on. Pylons going down now. Phoenix is again walking into the base, so Arnovic is showing signs of nerves, as I would be. And in the side of Rbvh, it's all about the same. Probe transfer coming down now. So, okay, so Arnovic is forced to transfer probes from his natural away to his main because of all these phoenixes.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough force to drive away these phoenixes. He doesn't even have energy for a photon overcharge. And he only has... Okay, he's bringing some stalkers from his main mineral line now, and he's going to push down.
Okay, trying to secure that mineral line, but it's hard to secure 2 mineral lines against stalkers or against phoenixes if you're low on units that shoot up. And of course now he has a significant amount of stalkers, but still needs to be wary of those phoenixes. Actually, yes, they're getting lots more probe kills right now.
Yep, 4 probes going down, and there's shield damage on the phoenixes. It's a good trade. There's a pylon for Arnovic sitting in the area of the 3rd for Rbvh. Of Rbvh, so if he decides to do something aggressive, he already has his pylon available.
Phoenix is flying in the main again, maybe picking up another probe. Yes, 1 goes down, but that's it, chased out by these stalkers.
Blink is coming up for Arnovic, so he may decide to use that pylon to stage a blink attack against Rbvh later on. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, Rbvh is getting his own Twilight Council. I guess he will go for Zealot Archon again, judging by his previous games.
Yeah, most likely, yeah. Opening up with Phoenixes, forcing your opponent to go into something that shoots up, and then coming in with Stalkers and with Zealots and Archons. That's
he's actually also making some Immortals, which are, of course, great against the Stalkers as well. And if we look at the upgrades, we see that Rbvh is already working on attack upgrades 2, and his opponent Arnovic is only just started with level 1, so there's a decent upgrade advantage for the blue Protoss player.
Alright, some Zealots actually in the natural mineral line, getting some probe kills too.
And in the meantime, the Phoenixes are trying to do something in the natural, but they are being deflected by the Stalkers and the sentries there.
Okay, nice move from Arnovic there, getting some kills. Let's see how many of those are. 6 kills in total. 6 probe kills in total by Arnovic now. So that's pretty even. Both players killing around 6-7 workers.
Both players getting their Templar Archives right about now. 3 gateways coming in for Arnovic and also 3 for Rbvh. So they're both going roughly in the same direction, but we see that the charge is almost completed for Rbvh, while Arnovic has taken Blink and not really done anything with it. Maybe he took it defensively so he could maneuver better against the Phoenixes, but I'm not sure.
Hallucination there, I got killed. Rbvh throwing down pylons across the map as well. Now this probe springing into action, getting some support pylons down. Arnovic continues scouting with Phoenixes, and there's a bit of a move out now. With Templar there, actually. They're not morphed into Archons. Or I should not morphed, shouldn't say morphed, I should say merged.
Merged, yeah. That's a bit unusual, because if you're moving out... Templars are slower than Archons, so you might as well merge them. He hasn't researched Storm, so he's not going to use them for that.
Nope.
But he's heading back in.
Alright, we see a +3 attack coming up for Rbvh. He's really working on those upgrades this game. That is good. Yeah, so it was a bit of a fake move out, then retreats right away. Both players, lots of Zealots, lots of Zealots, yes, but Archons so far only for Rbvh. Yeah, that's actually a funny thing. You see 4 Templars for Arnovic now.
Yeah, I really wonder what he's going to do with it. I mean, they now have energy for Storm, so they could be used for that.
Yeah.
But Storm also not that great against Protoss because the units are quite beefy, so they have to be stormed quite a bit before they actually die. But yeah, he should just either merge them or research storm. Probably merge them.
Yep. Okay. We see some. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
With Rbvh's army moving up and coming pretty close to the base of Arnovic. Now the Archons are being merged together, so he did do that in the end.
So 2 Stalkers throwing their lives away. The other Stalkers that were on top wisely retreating. Although, you know, since they have Blink, they might have just gone all full commando and try and get something done in the main base and then blink out again.
Yeah.
The army positioning from Rbvh suggests that he's going to be aggressive with it, otherwise it would be dangerous to be all the way out on the map like this. We see him going for a third while currently attacking. That's a very nice
He has
move.
a pretty big army supply lead though. Currently it's 92 against 68, so he's if he keeps posturing around there, Arnovic can't really safely take the engagement. He still has 2 Templars that are not merged. Oh, and there's a very premature Photon overcharge. Rbvh is just posturing already is enough to provoke the Photon overcharge, but the Mothership Core does have enough energy for a second one in case that's needed.
Okay, we see a little bit of skirmish here down at the bottom 6 o'clock position. Some zealots from Arnovic making it in, but easily thwarted by Rbvh, and he seems to be in a very comfortable position right now. Like you said, he is forcing his opponent inside of his own base while taking his third himself. So he's not just sitting back and letting his opponent build up. No, he's taking a third base himself. So yes, he is definitely increasing his advantage currently. While being careful, I should say, but yeah, he's now flying in. Oh, look at that!
That's why he saved the Templars.
That's why he saved the Templar, for the feedback.
Will he get the Mothership Core though? Because I guess that's what he really wants.
He did. He got something.
Oh, he got the Phoenix.
Phoenix.
There he goes, gets the Mothership Core. And he gets also some sentries, so these Templars were very useful, but he should really merge them now. He has 1 feedback left. He really wants to get the most out of them.
He got the Templar.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not see that coming. That was an amazing use of those Templar. Congratulations,
that was actually pretty useful. Yeah, he saved up a lot of energy on them. Oh, and here comes the engagement. This is a pretty bad position for both players, with the Zealots being stuck behind other units. Reinforcements coming in from the right. I think Rbvh has the advantage, as Arnovic is falling back and taking some shots as he goes.
Once again,
overcharge again triggered. And the Mothership Core should again regenerate the energy he needs before this one wears off. A lot of Zealots being warped in the bottom, actually, going to the third of Rbvh.
Good catch. Yes, these are so many Zealots that they probably will get this Nexus.
Yeah, they will definitely go down. Maybe some probes as well. In the meantime, in the front,
Triggers attack.
Push.
Oh, look at this big attack into the natural. Oh, and Zealots, they're not merged yet. Now they're merging. Oh, the position is very good for Rbvh right now.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage. Photon overcharge again got triggered, but it's not taking out the units that fast. And the Immortals are just shelling the natural expansion. It will go down. Actually, Arnovic will surrender before it does. And that's GG, and Rbvh takes game number 1 of this semifinals.
Indeed he does. Rbvh up 1 game. And these are very precious games because it's only a best of 3, so Rbvh is now 1 game away of being kicked out, and Rbvh is all set and ready to go on to the final, so down to the next game, I would say. Oh, and thank you, Wyman, for also following us on Twitch, and likewise, Ruse Nano. I get all these emails as soon as people follow me. That's nice. Alright. People still talking about Wyman currently being ranked Masters. That happened. So after Wyman played in the qualifier for the previous bootcamp, he was then promoted to Masters League. This does not exclude him from participating in further qualifiers, because what counts is that at the time of signing up you are not ranked higher than Diamond, and also you have not been ranked higher than Diamond in the previous 2 seasons of this year. And Wyman met that requirement, and if he gets promoted to Masters League after that, it's not a reason to kick him out of bootcamp. And the same holds for anyone. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at the stream now. I see these awesome feedback actions. So yeah, just enjoying those again. But to anyone playing in bootcamp, don't worry about tanking your account and trying not to get in Masters. If you get to Masters after signing up and having played, that's not a problem at all. In fact, it shows that you're learning, and that is the goal of bootcamp. So there we go. And we're actually getting invited in the next game. Rbvh up 1 game. Next map. Yeah.
I just see Wish saying in the chat if Weimann is also going to cast on his last chance qualifier. It's referring back to the 2013 DSCL Open, where Weimann was just above the cutoff for qualifying for the main tournaments, and then the last qualifier came, and instead of playing it, he actually cast it because it was difficult to find a caster, I think, and then he lost out on playing in the main tournaments.
Yeah, Johan is very dedicated. He casted with us, helped us out, but then he couldn't qualify himself. Of course, no guarantee that he would have qualified, but still, it's great that he helped us out. The same goes for this year, right? Because he's scheduled to cast with me, or he's not scheduled actually. No, I do have trouble finding casters this year, so I hope that he's available for some of the following qualifiers. But I think we'll have to see. And currently, we're setting up this game. Rbvh up 1 match. There we go. Jumping into the game in the 2 o'clock position. Currently down 1 game, Arnovic, our yellow Protoss.
And in the 10 o'clock position, currently in the lead, 1-0 at match point for making it to the finals, the red Protoss, Rbvh.
Rbvh. Pretty cool. Do you think that the fact that there's so many Protosses, do you think that the division or the ratio of Protosses is larger? There's more Protosses around Diamond League than there are at higher levels? Is that something?
There used to be differences in racial distributions in the different leagues. I've not looked at that statistic for some time.
Okay.
It can happen that, of course, some races are easier to play in the lower leagues because they're maybe less micro-intensive, or some units that are difficult to use are crucial, and then in lower leagues you cannot really use them, so that race may be weaker. In Brood War, Protoss versus Terran was incredibly imbalanced in the lower, well, they didn't have leagues then, but in the lower ranks of IC Cup. Protoss would just have a much easier time because there were the entry requirement, more or less, to play decently with a Protoss was just much lower. But then as you got better and better and went to Korean top level, then you suddenly saw the Terrans being stronger. So there's definitely a level dependence to balance. Not everything that is true in top Grandmaster also holds true in Golds, for example.
Yeah, I can imagine that's something that is very difficult for Blizzard to deal with, because of course they're trying to balance out the very highest level of gameplay, right? So they're trying to balance out the big tournaments where the top players performing. But if that is a kind of a balance where in lower leagues certain imbalances start popping up, then yeah, there's a very tough choice to be made. Are you going to be catering for the large amount of people playing in lower leagues, or just focusing on the higher leagues? And I think they've been trying to find solutions that to nerf or boost certain aspects of the game that would not have a very big effect on Masters or higher, but would help players in certain lower levels of the game. But I'm not sure.
Or to do it the other way around. For example, just to pick one, I think Snipe for the Ghosts was nerfed a long time ago, and that was typically, I mean, it's a micro ability, and generally games in lower leagues are not really decided by micro that often. It's more just hoop and bakes. The bigger army typically wins, and unit counters play a role. So a nerfing of Snipe back then was mostly aimed at MVP primarily, but at high level Terrans. While for lower levels in Bronze, Silver, of course, if you were using Snipe, then you were affected by it, but most games were not really decided by whether someone used Snipe skillfully. So I guess that's one of the examples where they balanced it for the higher leagues without in such a way that they try to minimize the effect on the lower leagues.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you. There's actually something going on. This Mothership Core, barely, like the barest of bareliest didn't scout that probe there, and it's a very important probe because it's going to be producing a pylon that's going to be spawning some DTs. Rbvh
exactly.
went for a very early Twilight Council, immediately throws down a Dark Shrine afterwards, and this probe over here that just barely didn't get scouted will throw down a pylon, I can imagine, which will help Rbvh warp in some Dark Templar there, and so far I don't think Arnovic has scouted this at all.
No, and Arnovic is going for an expansion. He hasn't built anything that can possibly detect in the future. No Robo, no Stargate, no cannons. So there comes the Robo.
Phoenix also now, a hallucinated Phoenix from Arnovic now flying towards the base of...
it's crossing the hallucinated Oracle from Rbvh. That's going the other way.
It's going to scout the DT Shrine, the Dark Shrine to the DT Shrine.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so it has been scouted.
He actually selected it quickly. You saw the yellow dashed outline, so he really knows that it's a DT.
So what is going to happen?
He does have a robotics in production now. I guess he will, until it's done, he will keep his sentries at the front and watch it like a hawk. And if he sees the blur from the DT, try to force field. That of course requires very good reflexes and timing, and you need to keep watching that area constantly. But he's placing everything on hold position on his ramp.
It's got a very vulnerable couple of sentries are in front there. Sentries don't get one shot, right, by DTs, or do they?
No, they don't. They have 80 health, so it takes 2 shots. And there's the force field.
Two sentries lost. That's kind of a big deal. That's a lot of gas.
Yeah, but still, his Robo is done now. The DT has been deflected, and the Dark Shrine and one DT is also a lot of gas. And he does have his expansion up quite a bit before Rbvh. So, of course, the 2 sentries were not really necessary to lose, but I did think he got the better end of this opening.
I agree. I concur. All right. Do you think that these immortals for Arnovic that are going to be popping out of his robotics facility need to walk all the way around the gases?
Let's
see where they...
wondering, they may be able to fit through the forge in the simulator.
Let's check that out.
But yeah, that's something that's typically when you're playing, you're not really taking into account, and then suddenly you find that your immortal or your tank has to make a complete circle through your entire base, and they do fit.
Fits through. By the way, the Dark Templar had been striking away at some of these stalkers that were moving out into the map. So Arnovic licks his wounds, returns with his stalkers, which means that he's playing kind of blind for now. Actually, really blind. Once again, stalkers moving out now, this time with an observer, trying to find that DT once again.
He may pick up Rbvh's observer as it's also out on the map, but it's flying back, so he should be able to save it.
DT manages to do just a little bit of hit point damage on these stalkers before dying. There we go.
Nice control by Arnovic, just making sure that he doesn't sacrifice his stalker to that. If you just A-move it directly, then you will still kill the DT, but you may lose a stalker. And now he made sure that a little scratch on the hull is all that he took in damage.
Cool. Arnovic supply blocked, and he's gonna have to wait until his pylon finishes once again. And but he is scouting the map now. He's regaining some of that vision that he lost all the while.
Yes. Templar Archives coming up for Rbvh. We see him researching charge. He's getting his +2 attack upgrades. More gateways popping out. So, Frank, what do you think he is going to do?
It's a lot. Archon. Lots of it. Yep. So
he's even getting more gateways now. He's found his recipe for PvP, and he's sticking with it. And I guess that's a good thing to do. If you have one build that you're very good at, it's typically easier to just try to improve on that rather than learning all kinds of different builds and being all trickery and everything.
I completely agree, and I see that Arnovic is going for double upgrades and going into Colossi. Do you think those Colossi are going to be coming into play before Rbvh Zealot Templar move out hits? I think it might, right? Because Rbvh is used to going into a third base even before he moves out. Yeah,
but I think then there may be a single Colossus and no thermal lance yet. Depends a bit on which timing Rbvh wants to take. But he already has his first Archon. The second one is going to merge right now. Zealot's being warped in, so there's a Warp Prism coming with the army. I think Rbvh is pushing out now, and that means that there's no Colossus yet. And by the time he reached the other side of the map, there may be one, just barely, but definitely no range.
Nope, no, you're right. Ranged only now starting, so like you said, if Rbvh pushes out now, he will hit before thermal lands, before a lot of Colossus.
He seems to be pushing out. He moves out just in front of the hallucinated Phoenix's scouting, so good timing there. But the Stalker on the watchtower does see the advancing army.
Yep, actually Rbvh going for a third base as he's pushing out, which is what we've seen him do before.
Yes.
So this is like a posturing push. Keep your opponent confined to 2 base, make him feel like you're doing a 2 base push, and if he holds off, he's in good shape. But in fact, your opponent is going for a third base. And oh, this is a very good move from Arnovic. He's choking up his choke, so it's going to be very difficult for Rbvh to walk up there.
Yes, especially with Zealot Archon, you rely on these Zealots getting a lot of surface area, charging forward, and now they have to charge forward single file almost, and that makes it very difficult. Together with sentries, they can pop down some force fields. Of course, they'll get broken quickly by the Archons, but if you can slow down the Zealot tsunami for just a little bit, that is it's pretty good.
Yeah, it takes a lot of micro to pull back the Zealots, let the Archons advance, etc. And all this time you can take free shots at the army, so definitely Force was still useful even though there's Archons in play.
Single Stalker for Arnovic was trying to harass the third a bit, but 2 Zealots were warped in and they chased it away. In the meantime, we do see that Rbvh is pulling back.
Yeah.
He's going to sit at his third and just expand.
Oh, Thermal Lance now finishes for Arnovic, so it did finish before any major engagement.
Arnovic is moving out, and I don't think that is a great idea. He does have 2-2 against 2-0, but with Zealot Archon and lots of Zealots out on the map, Rbvh should be able to really surround the smallish army for Arnovic with relative ease if a positional mistake is made. So I don't know if this moving out for Arnovic is really the best idea, but we're going to see.
Oh yeah, not the best position for Rbvh. You got all the Zealots stuck behind the Archons, but now they're all fighting. Yep. This Colossus is definitely doing some work right now.
Yeah, it's melting all those Zealots, and now all the Zealots for both players are gone more or less, but yeah, the Archons are just chasing back the Immortals.
Double nice time warp once again. Gotta cost him a Colossus and an Immortal. Actually no, the Colossus lives.
There was a Zealot warp in from the back from Arnovic, and it almost walked up the ramp to flank Rbvh's army, but then it started to move back and walk along the bottom side of this of the ledge, and I think that really made a big difference, because if he could have flanked with those Zealots, then he could have done a lot of damage. Now he actually took a lot of damage himself.
Yep. Alright, yeah, currently 30 supply difference, so in favor of Rbvh. Most of that supply is in army, although he's also had in of course, economy. Not just in number of probes, but also in number of bases. He's now mining from 3 bases, whereas Arnovic really needs to make something happen right now. If he stays on 2 bases much longer, but he doesn't really have much of a choice because there's a very big army camped in front of his natural, so yeah, it's a tough call. It's an uphill battle for Arnovic from now on.
He does have 3 Colossus now, so that's quite a bit of firepower. Some Zealots in front of there. So I don't like this engagement decision. He engaged just before his 3rd Colossus came walking down, taking a lot of damage. Nice time warp though, Rbvh, and Rbvh is forced to retreat. Also thanks to this choke point at the ramp. But I think Arnovic could have gotten a lot more of that if he waited for his 3rd Colossus to join. He was just walking down the ramp as he was engaging.
Pretty cool. More Immortals joining the fray for Arnovic. Yeah, there are a lot of Stalkers on the field for Rbvh. By the way, Rbvh's army at the front is not that big, so Arnovic might do some damage here. No, actually, okay. Just a sizzle. Oh, Mothership Core.
He's going to get the Mothership Core, yeah, that's too bad.
Charge.
Oh, in the meantime, there's there's random stalks for Arnovic. One made it into the natural mineral line. Maybe kill some probes. Let's see what the units lost count is. No, just 6 workers killed so far by Arnovic. So.
I missed something. There we go. Yep, there is lots of pylons on the map for Arnovic and some for... oh, actually, talking of speaking of pylons, I got a mobile pylon right here moving into Arnovic's base now from the bottom. A warp prism for Rbvh. Let's see if he can get something done and whether he will attack at the front at the same time that his opponent is distracted by these Zealots in his main. Let's see, here we go. More Zealots warping in actually at the back here.
Yeah,
Good
there's
call.
no response just yet from Arnovic. So Rbvh is free to do some damage to the probe line now. Here comes the warp in. And in the meantime, we have battle at the front, but just a little bit of poking.
Okay, not a lot going on here. Both players kind of losing equal amounts of units here. Oh, one Zealot survives in the mineral line, will get some probe kills, but at this point I don't think the number of probes is an issue for Arnovic. It's more that his minerals are running out, so he needs an expansion.
He's still oversaturated on his main base. He has 15 of 12, so he can lose some workers. And in the meantime, a fourth base for Rbvh. It's really a nice position. It's just behind where his army is, so Arnovic cannot easily go out and attack it unless he goes past the big army.
Yeah.
Which he may be trying to do.
Yeah, he might. This is a good position. He got a nice wrap around the army.
That's a very nice position. 2 more Archons coming in for Rbvh, but I'm not sure if it's enough. And Rbvh is pulling back a little bit. Yeah. But Arnovic is just going to crush this. He decides not to pursue, but...
Well, this is comeback time. He either has to pursue and do a lot of damage, or expand like mad now, right now.
Probably.
Rbvh throws away a lot more units right now, so this is a golden opportunity. GG even.
GG's, wow.
Woo!
That escalated quickly.
I was going to say exactly that. Wow, okay.
I'm not sure... the GG... Of course, Rbvh was behind after these 2 engagements, but with 4 bases against 2, and especially the bases of Arnovic running out, I don't know if it was really the time to GG already.
Yeah, you're right. He may have not pushed.
So much more economy. Of course, he would have been on the defensive for a while, maybe lost the base, but still.
Still, I agree, man. Might have been a bit premature, but well, it's also very hard to know what exactly Rbvh knew about his opponent.
Yes.
Okay. This means, though, that we're going to go into an ace match. This semi-final is hard fought. The winner of this will go to the final of today, and it's currently 1-1. The winner of the next game advances. And I'm going to put on a small CM Store commercial while I make a potty break. So please excuse me while I'm gone for about a minute.
Yeah, it's a party invite, not a lobby invite just yet. Apparently, Rbvh is taking also a quick break. I just finished my bag of chips. I just checked with Wish, one of our admins, and the other semi-finals, Maze against Frixie, is currently 1-0 for Maze. entering the lobby now. If all the party members are. Yep, there we go. Excellent. Okay, we're on 1v1. That's a little bit more reassuring.
My microphone had been muted for since I returned from the bathroom. So sorry about that, guys.
I did hear you, or did you mute it only in XSplit?
I muted it in XSplit, so the people on the stream couldn't hear me. Okay, I'll get guy. Alrighty. Yep, gonna be awkward for a bit.
Just me talking to myself.
Man, stroopkoeken are really the best. You live in France, right? Can you get stroopkoeken in France?
Probably not. I'll be going to the Netherlands on Tuesday, so I'll be gathering some Dutch delicacies, primarily pepernoten, of course. I have to probably bring 2 kilo bags back to me. See if I can make it to December.
Bring lots of pepernoten.
Of course.
All right, man. Third map, third game coming up. You might have heard the countdown, and it is match point. Both players have won one game in this series, and seeing as how it is a best of 3, this will be the final game. There we go. Let's set all this up, get some points going, and we're jumping into the game. In the top right position, having played many a match today, going for lots of Zealots and lots of Archons, it is Rbvh. Woo!
And in the bottom right, we have the yellow Protoss looking at a 1-0 deficit before the previous game, but coming back despite some hills to climb, and now 1-1. Also going for that spot in the finals, it is Arnovic.
Alright. My guess is that Rbvh will be doing his same strategy once again. It was successful for him a lot of times, and in the previous game it was so too. But somehow he allowed, I think maybe he was over-expanding, not focusing on his army enough, and then he allowed Arnovic to break out and do significant damage to his army, probably a bit more than was necessary. Rbvh didn't pull back on time, so he lost basically his entire army. And then he GG'd out.
That game was just decided by by those 2 engagements that were really unfortunate for Rbvh. And then the GG, I'm not sure if it was warranted considering the economic lead that he had. But yeah, it was quite a bit behind on army supply because his army got destroyed without him dealing barely any damage.
Arnovic scouted his main base for proxies. Those would have been very early proxies indeed.
Yeah, especially considering it's a 4-player map. You cannot really reliably find where you have to go.
But he's taking no chances whatsoever, so that's very good. Alright. I got one of the DSCL volunteers. Oh, he's stealing my cookies, god damn it! He must have heard me talk about cookies while we're on the stream. Now he's stealing them. Damn! He will leave me hungry.
And of course you cannot abandon your posts.
Oh, my cookies. This hurts.
So
I'm gonna be doing very empathetic things now, so in about 2 minutes they're watching the stream downstairs. In about 2 minutes they'll hear all about my mental anguish of having lost my cookies. My cookies! No more Cookie Monster for me. Darn it. I wonder what else I have at home to eat. Maybe I can make some toasties later on with cheese and ketchup. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a Stargate for Rbvh. His staple move. This is
yes, that's not entirely surprising.
Nope, he is back to his regular antics.
He did scout, so Rbvh scouted. He went up into the main of Arnovic, but if you look at the vision, he just got to the edge of the Nexus.
Oh my god!
He didn't see it.
He did this before. He did this before, and then he was right in assuming that there was nothing there. But this time, he's completely wrong. He has no idea. This is pretty awkward. I love these situations. Alright, boys and girls watching the stream, be diligent about how far you scout. This one little hex that you could have scouted extra makes all the difference, as you can see. So right now, Rbvh is in the dark. He doesn't know where his opponent is. It's not like he's sending out a giant army and he needs to find his opponent right now, but still, this could end up being awkward for him later on.
Yes. Let's see, he did go much further into the next base that he scouted, so if he now finds no one in the third position, he can deduce that, oh yeah, it's the bottom right where it didn't really go all the way. He won't have to rescout all 3 positions. So I think if he misses if he finds the next base to be empty, he can conclude where his opponent is and send his phoenixes in the correct direction.
Yeah, so after all, his scout will have been kind of effective. The scouting probe from Arnovic is being chased by Rbvh's mothership core.
So Rbvh just flew his first phoenix into the top left position, and it sat there for a few seconds, and it was like, okay, what? And now he's crossing the map diagonally, and he knows that that's the place where it has to be, and realizes the mistake.
Yeah, he probably thinks his opponent is hacking. Hacks!
Or that he learned to lift his nexus.
Yeah, I lifted it. Floated it to the gold right away, okay. 2 phoenixes.
Floated to the gold on a neighboring map.
Exactly. Alright, now flying into the main base. 1 phoenix for lifting, 1 for shooting. It's not going to do a lot against these probes.
It takes some hull damage. It's a bit overextended. But he's not making more phoenixes, so it doesn't really matter.
He scouts the Twilight and... Oh, actually, what is he scout? Let me check. The Twilight and all of the gateways. So maybe he expects some of these stalkers that are coming his way. With Blink. Man.
Yep.
I feel like I would have deduced... I feel like if I had been playing this game, I could have deduced from scouting this that he's throwing Blink stalkers at me. I feel very good about that.
And there's Blink coming up, so... But both players are expanding, and I think... Yeah, both... Rbvh has seen his opponent's expansion, and... Okay, Arnovic has not seen Rbvh's expansion, but at least Rbvh knows that there's not going to be a massive one-base Blink all-in coming up.
True, yes. Yeah, of course, we have seen players go for a fake Nexus there and cancelling at the last minute and throwing all those minerals back into Stalkers, but not in this case. Like we said, no very crazy things going on here. It's just that I'm missing my cookies so incredibly much. Oh my god. Okay, to you guys watching downstairs, I hate you for stealing my cookies. Oh man, people in the...
maybe they'll bring some crumbs back up.
Yeah, hopefully. People in the chat are now seeing, of course, this the point where Arnovic, or Rbvh scouted, didn't scout Arnovic's base. And they're saying, oh my god, I didn't see the base. The derp is real. Oh, actually, Wish is lagging out.
Wish normally, he always leaves the game after he does his little shout-outs in the beginning. I
guess we know now why he always leaves, because this stuff happens.
He cannot stay online for an entire game. Okay, well, he'll wait. We'll wait out a minute, and then he'll drop.
Yeah, he'll probably drop. I think his computer probably crashed. I don't know. Or
we'll
internet, of course.
Well, we don't really need them anymore because after this it's the finals, and then we know who to invite.
Yep. Arnovic is dancing. Alright, guys. Players get ready. 3, 2... How does he type so fast? Go.
He only has 3 different keys that he has to press, so that should be doable for any semi-accomplished StarCraft player.
Yep, which Arnovic certainly is. So there we go. Scouting the base of Rbvh, and now of course he knows everything. He didn't see the Twilight Council go down, by the way. Is Rbvh only now making his Twilight Council? Oh yeah, I guess he usually makes it. Oh, actually no, he has a robotics facility as well before Twilight Council. Is that Am I wrong, or is this different from what he usually does?
I think it's different, but he... Oh yeah, this is definitely different. Look at what he's building now. Boom, there we go.
Yep.
So, for the final game of this series, his 4th PvP, at least from what we've seen, Rbvh is apparently switching it up.
We are going to see Colossi from him. And, well, seeing as how he's already played 2 games against Arnovic and has employed the same strategy, Arnovic, whether he watched Rbvh's earlier games or not, may have some idea of Rbvh's preference for Zealot Archon. And seeing as how he's not going Zealot Archon right now, this might be a move that throws Arnovic off.
Arnovic seems to be poised to take a 3rd, I think. He placed two pylons on either side of where the Nexus is supposed to be. But he's also moving out with 2 Stalkers and 3 Sentries. So I'm not entirely sure what that is about. Probably just clear the map of Scouts or something.
Oh. Get some damage. Oh, actually blinks on top of this. Does a lot of damage to this Phoenix. Nice micro.
3rd base also coming up for Rbvh. So... Well, also, he's actually the first. Arnovic plays down the pylons to make his 3rd, but doesn't place down the actual Nexus just yet.
Ooh, big warp-ins of lots of Templar for Arnovic. Oh, okay, so Archons in the face of Rbvh. Let's see what he does against them. A very premature Guardian Shield, actually. That might have been a misclick, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so.
That sucks because it's 100 energy.
So it's a pretty small push. He's also bringing in some Zealots, but he doesn't have charge. He's not even researching it. I think that it's probably deliberate. He's just going for some Archon-powered push.
Yeah, this push it's small, but it's powerful. And against what Rbvh has at top of the ramp there, it's definitely gonna pack a punch.
Yeah, especially if he attacks before the 3rd is completed, because then it can be frozen overcharged, and he could maybe get a cancel.
Here we go. Push comes in. Scout is too late. Okay, there's no mothership core to trigger a photon overcharge. Actually, it's there, but it's... Oh, there we go.
He does it on a natural, so he could just pull back and get the 3rd.
Yep, this is a free 3rd.
And then he didn't build his own 3rd, so if he had built his own 3rd, he could have just killed this one and then pulled back with a big advantage. But now he's just tying up the economy by doing this. Still good, but it would have been nicer to have his own 3rd. See if he pushes further.
It's going to be tough to continue the push from here on out because there's a bit of a choke and a bit of more army now for Rbvh. And there's this Colossus there, which doesn't have thermal range yet, but it's very, very nearly have thermal range.
Rbvh does have a big supply block though. He only just started additional pylons, so it will be a little while before he can add more units. But his 2nd Colossus is coming out. His range is almost done. His charge is almost done. So I think the window is closing for Arnovic, but he's going to try.
Here we go. Okay, another photon overcharge. Enough energy for that. Okay, very nice. He keeps all the Zealots away from the Colossi, and lots of damage being done by the Colossi. There is still a significant amount of army left for Arnovic, but I think he would be wise to... Well, actually, more Zealots streaming in as reinforcement, but Zealots against these Colossi who seem to have like a taste for Zealots today.
Colossi are getting just so many kills. They have 14 together.
Sick.
Already. That's massive.
Whoa! Alright, bit of dancing.
Dancing is units that's a little bit overeager.
Yeah, it might be
I wonder
premature.
why Rbvh doesn't pull his probes in this position just to surround the units and let the Colossus do the work.
This might have been premature, yes. The Rbvh is ahead in supply, I mean... So, maybe it wasn't dancing, maybe it was actual doubt. He's like, I'm going that way, no, I'm going that way.
He has many
no,
DPM.
Don't go in there, it was just a couple of Zealots against 3 Colossi.
This is nasty, yeah, this is about to get cleaned up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and now he has to pull back, at least I think. He's going to lose his mothership, except that there's nothing that can shoot up. So his mothership core is just happily chasing the Colossi. Their 2 Archons are coming in, so he shouldn't overextend.
Run away!
Run away, little mothership core!
Nice, he's saving itself using the time warp. Very nice.
Yeah, you got it out. And Rbvh is getting a 3rd again, and in all of this, Arnovic did not get his 3rd.
He's now getting it.
Yeah, so that's one criticism that I would have with this, that if he would have gotten this 3rd much earlier, he would be in a much better position, despite having that last overextension, because then he would have had a great economy. But now he's behind on the economy, and with this last engagement, he's also behind an army. So he wasn't in a great position, but then Was a bit too eager, I think.
I would say now he is significantly behind, and I think that Rbvh is ahead enough that he could push and do significant damage. And I think that's what he's going to do right now, actually.
Yeah, if we look at the upgrades, it's just 0 upgrades for Arnovic, and it's 3 attack for Rbvh.
Wow.
Also, he has charge on his zealots, while Arnovic has. Well, he also has charge now. He has blink, but he only has a handful of stalkers. So yeah, and in an engagement, Rbvh should just crush him, unless the positioning is very unfortunate.
This might be what we saw in game number 1, where Rbvh just punched right through the defenses of Arnovic. We could see a repeat of that if Rbvh realizes how far ahead he is, and I think he will be realizing that, because he's poking away at the front, seeing what's there. And I think he's gonna 5 Colossi. I think he's gonna take a chance. Ooh, lots of shot landing on that little pylon there.
It's a good position there up the ramp, though, especially with the pylon taking in the first wave of shots.
All the zealot charges getting triggered on the pylon.
Arnovic should these downtimes he should move the zealots really in front rather than moving his army back in the bulk and then leaving it there, because now the zealots are really stuck between the other units.
Here we go. Big attack. Colossi being quite far to the front, but still shielded by all the zealots. And look at the meltage going on.
This is just crushing.
Sick. Okay.
Frozen overcharge does get triggered, but the base goes down very rapidly. It's 5 Colossi, 3 zealots coming in for a little flank, but they get 1 slash off on the Colossus, and that's it.
Rbvh now has double the supply of his opponent. This game, I'm going to declare it as over. Rbvh is going to probably advance to the finals of today. And
this is the final offense, probably last desperate defense by Arnovic, pulling his probes, but to no avail against 5 Colossi and some Archons.
Terrible damage.
Now it's just waiting for the inevitable.
Arnovic collecting his thoughts, thinking maybe I should not have danced. That cost me a couple of seconds that I could be used. Good luck, well played, and have fun in the finals. How mad.
There we go. Rbvh is our first finalist for this 3rd bootcamp qualifier.